March 31st, 1993. Actor Brandon Lee, son of the legendary Bruce Lee, died on the film set of The Crow in a bizarre accident. In this episode, we're going back in time to show you how and why it happened. Early 90s, the golden era of blockbusters and martial arts movies when fight scenes, shootings, and explosions were in high demand. Living in the shadow of his father, who was one of the godfathers of the genre, Brandon Lee worked hard to establish his own name in Hollywood. And he was definitely on the right track. In 1993, the career of a 28-year-old Brandon Lee was on the rise. He had played a few good roles in several movies before he landed the lead role in The Crow. Many believed it would finally cement Brandon's name as one of Hollywood's finest young actors. Sadly, just like his father Bruce Lee, Brandon wouldn't live to see his own success in Hollywood. He died right on the film set.
Alright folks, so in this scene, Eric returns home. The bad guys are already there, he sees his poor fiancée, so he gets shot. Alright, is the gun ready? Yes sir! Great, let's make it happen and we'll call it a night.
Among the many scenes in the movie, there was one where a thug played by Michael Massee was supposed to shoot Brandon Lee's character with a gun. It was just a routine shooting scene, nothing special. Lee, Massee, and the crew have done hundreds of similar scenes in their career.
Action!
Someday, you'll pay for what you've done.
Someday! Cut! Great job, Mike, Brandon. Alright guys, thank y'all. We're done for today.
The scene played out nicely. Great timing, solid acting. The only thing, for some reason, Brandon was still lying on the floor.
Hey, Brandon, you okay, buddy?
Guys, he's unconscious. Looks like he was shot.
What? We've got an emergency. Call the ambulance, now! Brandon, hey Brandon, can you hear me?
But Brandon would not hear anything. He would be pronounced dead a few hours later.
What the hell's going on here? What's wrong with this gun?
Oh, indeed. Something was terribly wrong with that gun. To be fair, a gun can cause zero damage by itself. It serves merely as the launch pad for the bullet. The launch happens when the trigger gets pulled. That's when the hammer kicks the primer ignites the powder expels energy that pushes the bullet out of the barrel. This is all good, but in the movies, they're not using real guns. Or are they? Buckle up, they are. In Hollywood, they've been using real guns on movie sets for decades. Here's what happened to Brandon Lee. The plan was to use a .44 caliber Magnum revolver twice that night, once in a close-up scene and once in the main shooting scene. At first, the notorious revolver was loaded with dummy rounds, which looked exactly like real ones. For the close-up shot, it was particularly important. A properly made dummy round has no powder and primer to launch the bullet, so it should be harmless. But the crew made a terrible mistake and only removed the powder, and not the primer. When one of the rounds was fired, nobody noticed anything unusual. But here's what they didn't know. The energy from the ignited primer separated the bullet from the casing and pushed the bullet into the gun barrel, where it got stuck. Next up was the shooting scene with Massee and Lee. Had the crew checked the gun, they would have discovered the stuck bullet, but they were short on time. This was a fatal mistake. For the shooting scene, the dummy rounds were swapped with blank rounds. Unlike the dummy rounds, the blanks have the powder and primer, but no bullet. This allows the gun to be fired with sound and flash effects. Obviously, the crew didn't have any idea that there was a real bullet stuck inside the gun barrel. Now, they've just loaded the gun with powder and primer. Look, now it's a live round. The ignited powder propelled the bullet forward, striking Lee in the abdomen. Brandon had no chance, as he was shot with a .44 caliber gun from a distance of less than 15 feet. Was anyone charged with Brandon's death? There was a lot of negligence on the part of a lot of people, and the official investigation concluded that there was no basis for a criminal charge. In 1973, in Seattle, an 8-year-old Brandon was saying his last goodbyes to his father Bruce Lee, who had just passed away. 20 years later, Brandon's grave would be standing right next to Bruce's. This is the story of Brandon Lee's death. This is how it was.
Alright, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss new episodes.